Ladies and gentlemen, today we dive into a story that is as old as time, but carries lessons as relevant as tomorrow's sunrise. It is about a woman who sacrifices her family for the attention of a man. A man who, let's be honest, is only interested in her physical presence, not her essence, not her soul. Sacrifice is often seen as one of the purest expressions of love, commitment, and selflessness. Throughout history, stories of sacrifice have inspired humanity, showcasing acts of bravery, devotion, and unwavering care. However, the essence of sacrifice lies not just in the act itself, but in the intention behind it and the outcome it creates. For sacrifice to truly have meaning, it must stem from a place of love, mutual respect, and genuine purpose. Sacrifice that is misplaced, misunderstood, or coerced can lead to unintended consequences and deep regret. Sacrifice at its core is a choice. It is the act of giving up something valuable to support or uplift someone else or to achieve a higher goal. In relationships, sacrifice often symbolizes a deep connection. It can manifest in various forms: compromising on personal desires, offering time and energy, or making life-altering decisions for the sake of someone you love. The beauty of sacrifice lies in its unselfish nature, but its power can also become its vulnerability when not balanced by reciprocity and understanding. The key to a meaningful sacrifice lies in discernment. Sacrifice becomes valuable when it nurtures growth, strengthens bonds, or contributes to the well-being of everyone involved. It is not about losing yourself or your identity for someone else. It is about building something greater together. For example, parents often sacrifice their time, resources, and personal comforts to ensure their children have better opportunities. This form of sacrifice is rooted in unconditional love and yields positive, long-lasting outcomes. However, sacrifice without clear intent or in the wrong context can lead to imbalance and emotional harm. When one sacrifices their happiness, goals, or even principles for someone who does not value or reciprocate their effort, the act loses its noble essence. The danger arises when someone sacrifices out of fear, insecurity, or a need to seek validation, as it often leads to exploitation or feelings of resentment. In the context of the story of a woman sacrificing her family for a man who only craves her physically, we see how the essence of sacrifice is distorted. Here, the woman may believe that her sacrifice is an act of love, but without mutual respect or genuine emotional connection, the sacrifice becomes misplaced. Such decisions often arise from a misunderstanding of what love and sacrifice truly mean. Genuine sacrifice strengthens relationships, whereas misplaced sacrifice weakens them, both for the individual and those who care about them. True sacrifice should never strip someone of their core values, support system, or sense of self-worth. Sacrificing one's family, the very foundation of love and support, for a fleeting or superficial connection does not serve the greater good. Instead, it fractures relationships, leaving lasting scars on everyone involved. Ultimately, the essence of sacrifice is about giving wisely. It's about understanding your worth and ensuring that your actions contribute to mutual growth and happiness. It is a reminder that love does not demand the loss of self, but rather celebrates and strengthens the individual within the union. Priorities shape the direction of our lives, defining what matters most and guiding our decisions. They are reflections of our values, goals, and understanding of ourselves and the world. However, when priorities are misplaced, they can lead us down a path of regret, causing damage to our relationships, self-esteem, and sense of purpose. Misplaced priorities often arise from emotional impulses, societal pressures, or a lack of clarity about what truly matters. In the context of relationships, prioritizing a partner or romantic connection is natural, but it must be done with balance and discernment. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, shared values, and clear communication. However, when a person sacrifices fundamental aspects of their life, such as their family, career, or personal happiness, for someone who does not reciprocate or value that sacrifice, it signals a misalignment of priorities. The consequences of such decisions can be far-reaching and painful. One common cause of misplaced priorities is emotional vulnerability. When someone feels lonely, insecure, or unloved, they may cling to a relationship, even if it is unhealthy or unbalanced. In these situations, the fear of losing the relationship often overshadows the need for self-respect and stability. For instance, a woman who sacrifices her family and long-held values for a man who only values her physical presence may do so out of a desire to feel wanted or validated. Yet, in doing so, she compromises her core identity and loses the unconditional support of her loved ones. Another factor contributing to misplaced priorities is the influence of societal expectations and cultural norms. Society often romanticizes the idea of love conquering all, leading individuals to believe that sacrificing everything for love is noble and necessary. While commitment and dedication are important, true love does not demand the abandonment of one's family, goals, or self-worth. A relationship that requires such sacrifices without offering emotional depth and respect in return is not built on a solid foundation. The impact of misplaced priorities is profound. Relationships with family and friends can suffer, as the person prioritizing an unhealthy relationship may distance themselves from those who genuinely care about them. Over time, they may feel isolated, regretful, and disconnected from their true support system. Furthermore, sacrificing long-term stability for short-term gratification, such as prioritizing physical attraction over emotional connection, can leave individuals feeling unfulfilled and disillusioned. To avoid misplaced priorities, it is essential to develop self-awareness and a clear understanding of what truly matters. This involves reflecting on one's values, setting healthy boundaries, and recognizing the difference between fleeting desires and lasting fulfillment. In relationships, it is important to evaluate whether the connection adds value to your life or takes away from it. Ask yourself, does this person support my growth? Do they respect my family and the people who matter to me? Are they interested in my happiness beyond their own needs? Ultimately, priorities should align with your authentic self and the people who have consistently stood by you. Family, personal well-being, and long-term goals should never be sacrificed for a relationship that lacks mutual respect and genuine connection. Misplaced priorities are not irreversible. By reassessing and realigning your focus, you can regain control of your life, rebuild important relationships, and find a path that leads to true happiness and fulfillment. In the realm of relationships, physical attraction and genuine connection are two vastly different yet often conflated concepts. Physical attraction is the immediate surface-level allure that draws people together. It is powerful, instinctual, and undeniably compelling. But it is also fleeting. Genuine connection, on the other hand, is built on emotional depth, shared values, trust, and mutual understanding. While physical attraction can spark interest, it is the genuine connection that sustains relationships over time. Physical attraction is often the starting point of a relationship. It ignites curiosity and creates an initial bond. However, when a relationship is solely based on physical appeal, it lacks the depth needed to weather challenges and grow. Relationships built on superficial grounds tend to be short-lived as the novelty of physical attraction fades over time. Without emotional intimacy and shared goals, the relationship becomes shallow and unfulfilling. One of the most significant dangers of prioritizing physical attraction over genuine connection is mistaking lust for love. Lust is an intense, passionate desire that can cloud judgment and lead people to overlook red flags or make decisions they might later regret. It can create the illusion of a strong bond when, in reality, the relationship is based on temporary gratification rather than lasting commitment. For example, a woman who sacrifices her family and values for a man who craves her only for her physical presence may believe that she is in love. However, such a relationship is unlikely to provide the emotional support, respect, and shared purpose that a true partnership requires. The man's focus on her physicality reveals a lack of interest in her thoughts, feelings, and aspirations, reducing her to an object of desire rather than a complete, multifaceted individual. Genuine connection, by contrast, goes far beyond physical attraction. It involves truly knowing and understanding another person, appreciating their strengths, supporting their weaknesses, and building a life together based on mutual respect and shared goals. A relationship grounded in genuine connection fosters personal growth and emotional fulfillment. It allows both partners to feel seen, valued, and loved for who they truly are, not just for how they look or what they can offer physically. Building a genuine connection requires effort, communication, and vulnerability. It involves asking meaningful questions, listening deeply, and being willing to share your thoughts, fears, and dreams. Genuine connection also requires mutual respect, valuing each other's opinions, honoring boundaries, and celebrating individuality. Unlike physical attraction, which can diminish with time, a genuine connection grows stronger as trust and intimacy deepen. To avoid confusing physical attraction with genuine connection, it is essential to reflect on the foundation of your relationships. Ask yourself, do we share similar values and goals? Do we support each other's growth and well-being? Is there mutual respect and trust? If the answer is no, the relationship may be more about surface-level attraction than true compatibility. While physical attraction is an important aspect of romantic relationships, it should never overshadow the importance of a genuine connection. Relationships built solely on physicality are like houses built on sand, fragile and unsustainable. Genuine connection is the bedrock of a strong, enduring partnership. It transcends appearances, offering the emotional depth and mutual respect needed to create a relationship that stands the test of time. Family is often described as the foundation of an individual's identity, a source of unconditional love, guidance, and support. The bonds within a family serve as a safety net, offering comfort during challenges and celebrating successes. When someone sacrifices their family for a relationship, especially one that is imbalanced or superficial, the consequences can be profound and far-reaching. The impact is not limited to the individual making the choice. It ripples through the family, leaving emotional wounds and fractured relationships that can take years to heal. At its heart, the family represents loyalty and belonging. It is a place where individuals are accepted and valued for who they are, without the need to prove themselves or meet certain conditions. Sacrificing this foundation for a relationship can lead to feelings of betrayal and abandonment among family members. Parents, siblings, and extended relatives who have invested their time, energy, and love may feel discarded when a family member distances themselves for the sake of a romantic partner. This sense of loss can result in anger, resentment, and sadness, creating a divide that is difficult to bridge. For the individual making the sacrifice, the choice to prioritize a romantic partner over family often leads to internal conflict and regret. While they may initially believe they are acting in pursuit of happiness or love, the absence of family support becomes increasingly noticeable over time. Moments that would have been shared with family, birthdays, holidays, or even everyday conversations, are lost, leaving a void that no superficial relationship can fill. The realization that their sacrifice may have been misplaced or unappreciated by their partner can amplify feelings of isolation and guilt. The strain on family relationships is further compounded when the romantic partner fails to respect or value the individual's family In healthy relationships, a partner recognizes the importance of familial bonds and seeks to strengthen, not weaken those connections. However, in relationships driven by physical attraction or one-sided desires, the partner may actively discourage family involvement, viewing it as competition or a threat. This creates an unhealthy dynamic where the individual is forced to choose between two essential aspects of their life. The long-term consequences of such choices can be devastating. Families are not just a source of emotional support, they often provide practical help and stability during life's challenges. When someone sacrifices their family, they lose this invaluable safety net. Moreover, estrangement from family can lead to a loss of cultural traditions, shared memories, and the sense of identity that comes from knowing one's roots. Rebuilding family relationships after a sacrifice is made is not impossible, but requires effort, humility, and time. Acknowledging mistakes and expressing genuine remorse is the first step toward healing. Reconnecting with family members means listening to their feelings, validating their pain, and demonstrating a commitment to repair the bond. While it may not undo all the damage, sincere efforts to rebuild trust can pave the way for reconciliation and mutual understanding. Ultimately, no romantic relationship should require the complete sacrifice of family ties. True love enhances rather than diminishes the connections that matter most. A healthy partner will encourage family relationships, recognizing their significance in shaping an individual's well-being and sense of self. By understanding the impact of sacrificing family, individuals can make more informed decisions, ensuring that their actions honor both their romantic aspirations and the unbreakable bond of family. Recognizing one's worth is an essential cornerstone for building healthy relationships, making wise decisions, and leading a fulfilling life. Self-worth is not about arrogance or entitlement. It is about understanding your inherent value as a person and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. When individuals fail to recognize their worth, they often find themselves trapped in imbalanced relationships, compromising their values and sacrificing their happiness. Once again, today, to understand self-worth, it is important to distinguish it from external validation. Many people base their sense of value on how others perceive them, seeking approval, affection, or acceptance to feel significant. While external validation can provide temporary reassurance, it is not a reliable or sustainable foundation for self-esteem. True self-worth comes from within. It is a deep understanding that your value is not tied to someone else's opinion, attention, or approval. In relationships, recognizing your worth means setting boundaries and expecting mutual respect and reciprocity. A healthy relationship is a partnership where both individuals contribute equally, respect each other's individuality, and work together towards shared goals. When someone does not recognize their worth, they may tolerate mistreatment, settle for less than they deserve, or make sacrifices that are not reciprocated. For instance, a woman who gives up her family and values for a man who only craves her physical presence may believe she is acting out of love. In reality, this choice reflects a lack of self-worth, as she prioritizes someone else's desires over her own well-being and identity. Recognizing your worth requires self-awareness and self-acceptance. It involves acknowledging your strengths, embracing your imperfections, and understanding that you are deserving of love and respect just as you are. This is not about being perfect or flawless. It is about valuing yourself as a whole person. When you know your worth, you are less likely to seek validation from others or compromise your values to gain acceptance. A critical aspect of recognizing your worth is learning to say no. This means refusing to accept relationships, situations, or behaviors that undermine your dignity or happiness. It can be challenging, especially when emotions are involved, but it is an essential step in prioritizing your well-being. Saying no does not make you selfish or unkind. It is an act of self-respect. Another component of self-worth is understanding the difference between love and dependence. True love is empowering. It builds you up and enhances your life. Dependence, on the other hand, can be limiting and draining. When you recognize your worth, you can discern whether a relationship is based on genuine connection or on an unhealthy need for approval or validation. Dependency is unfortunate. Cultivating self-worth is an ongoing journey. It may involve self-reflection, seeking guidance from trusted friends or mentors, and engaging in practices that promote self-care and personal growth. It also requires letting go of toxic relationships and environments that diminish your sense of value. When you recognize your worth, you set a standard for how others should treat you. You become more confident in your decisions, more selective about your relationships, and more resilient in the face of challenges. Most importantly, you learn to love and respect yourself, which is the foundation for building meaningful and fulfilling relationships. Recognizing your worth is not just a gift to yourself, it is a message to the world that you deserve nothing less than love, respect, and happiness. Life is a continuous journey of learning and growth, and mistakes, no matter how grave they may seem, are an inevitable part of that journey. The true measure of a person is not the absence of mistakes, but their ability to learn from them, seek redemption, and emerge stronger. In the context of relationships and personal sacrifices, the lessons we take from our missteps can shape our future choices and help us rebuild trust, dignity, and a sense of purpose. When someone makes a decision that leads to regret, such as sacrificing their family or values for a fleeting relationship, the experience often brings about a deep sense of loss. They may feel guilt for the harm caused to loved ones, shame for compromising their principles, and frustration at themselves for not recognizing the situation earlier. These emotions, while painful, can also serve as catalysts for self-reflection and growth. The key to redemption lies in facing these feelings honestly and using them as a foundation for positive change. One of the most important lessons to take from such experiences is the value of self-awareness. Poor decisions often stem from a lack of understanding of our own needs, desires, and boundaries. When we fail to recognize what truly matters to us, we become vulnerable to external influences, making choices that do not align with our authentic selves. Reflection allows us to identify the underlying reasons for our actions, whether they stem from insecurity, fear, or misguided priorities, and equips us to make better choices in the future. Another critical lesson is the importance of forgiveness, both for oneself and others. Self-forgiveness is essential for healing and moving forward. While it is important to acknowledge mistakes and take responsibility for their consequences, dwelling on guilt can be paralyzing. Forgiving yourself does not mean ignoring the impact of your actions. It means committing to do better and allowing yourself the grace to grow. Similarly, seeking forgiveness from those affected by your choices is a crucial step in mending relationships. This requires humility, sincere remorse, and a willingness to make amends. Redemption also involves taking actionable steps to rebuild trust and realign with your values. If family relationships have been strained or severed, it is never too late to reach out and express a genuine desire to reconcile. Rebuilding trust takes time, consistency, and patience. It may involve having difficult conversations, showing through your actions that you have learned from the past, and demonstrating your commitment to repairing the relationship. Additionally, redemption means redefining your priorities and setting boundaries to ensure that similar mistakes are not repeated. This could involve seeking healthier relationships, focusing on personal growth, or dedicating time to strengthening family bonds. Surrounding yourself with people who uplift and support you can also provide the encouragement needed to stay aligned with your values. Perhaps the most profound lesson of all is the realization that mistakes do not define you. They are moments in time, not the entirety of your character. What defines you is how you choose to respond to those mistakes. Redemption is not about erasing the past, but about transforming it into a source of wisdom and strength. In the end, every experience, no matter how difficult, is an opportunity for growth. By embracing the lessons learned and seeking redemption, you can reclaim your sense of purpose, rebuild broken relationships, and create a life that reflects your true worth and values. Mistakes may shape your story, but it is the way you rise from them that defines your legacy. The journey of life is marked by choices, and the relationships we nurture are among the most defining of these. Each keynote highlights a crucial aspect of understanding the delicate balance between love, self-worth, and the broader connections that shape our lives. Whether it is the essence of sacrifice, recognizing misplaced priorities, or understanding the difference between physical attraction and genuine connection, one thing becomes clear. True fulfillment stems from aligning our actions with our values and worth. Sacrifices, when made, must stem from mutual respect and shared goals, not from fear, dependency, or an illusion of love. Misplaced priorities can pull us away from the people who genuinely care for us and the foundations that give us strength. Physical attraction, while powerful, is fleeting unless complemented by the depth and trust of a genuine connection. And while family is often the cornerstone of unconditional support, sacrificing those ties for something superficial leaves behind a void that is difficult to fill. The key to navigating these complexities lies in recognizing one's worth. It is the compass that helps us set boundaries, demand respect, and make choices that honor our true selves. Self-worth empowers us to love without losing ourselves, to sacrifice without compromising our identity, and to prioritize relationships that uplift rather than diminish us. Mistakes are inevitable, but they do not define us. They are lessons, opportunities for growth, and pathways to redemption. By learning from them, seeking forgiveness, and realigning with our values, we can rebuild what was lost and create a life that reflects our deepest truths. Ultimately, the lesson woven through all these keynotes is this: the most meaningful relationships, whether with a partner, family, or oneself, are built on a foundation of respect, authenticity, and mutual care. A life guided by self-worth, intentional choices, and genuine connections will not only bring lasting fulfillment, but will also inspire others to seek the same for themselves.